All right, good Thursday morning, everybody. We are live here on Ken's 5. Here's a live look over Morgan's Wonderland Camp in near Calaveras Lake. It is a beautiful start to the morning. Temperatures are fairly comfortable this morning. Last several mornings have been awesome. We had lows in the 60s and 50s all across San Antonio, and we've seen mostly clear skies. It's just in the afternoons we've seen more ozone build in. That has impacted air quality, which we'll talk about again today because we do have that impact expected later this afternoon. Partly cloudy, sunny, with more bad air quality moving into the area. So if you have any questions, comment down below. Join the conversation here on Ken's 5. We'll be live for the next 15 or 20 minutes talking all things weather. If you're traveling or going anywhere, leave a comment down below. We can definitely talk about what you're seeing and what the weather is going to be like where you're going, for example. We'll talk about that in a second as well. All right, so there's a live look outside. It is partly cloudy, mostly clear. Temperature-wise, sitting again in the 80s, just one or two, cumulus clouds over that particular shot over Morgan's Wonderland Camp. Before we get to the forecast, let's chat about this right here. Yesterday was the statistical peak of hurricane season. This is the time of year where we see the most hurricanes, tropical storms, tropical depressions in the Caribbean, the Gulf, in the Atlantic, and the Pacific as well. Right now, there's just not much out there. There are a couple of tropical waves we're watching closely, but nothing that's of immediate concern for anybody at the moment. Now, it's been a slow start to the season. For the Atlantic specifically, we've seen Barry, Andrea, Chantal, Aaron, Dexter, and Fernand. We've seen a total of 6 named storms so far for the Atlantic. We should be around 8 based on average. So we're again behind schedule, a little bit of a slow start, which we're not complaining about, right? Because hurricanes can be devastating. But it just shows you that's the progress so far for the Atlantic, specifically the Atlantic 2025 season. Now, this is interesting right here. So how many hurricanes have hit Texas in the month of September in the last 120, 150 years? It's been a lot. These are some of the main ones, and we've tried to get we looked through all the data, and this is all the Texas hurricanes to hit, our state in the month of September. Now, Hurricane Harvey is not on this list. It's not on the map because Harvey hit Texas in August. Another one, Hurricane Celia, hit Texas in August. So these are showing hurricanes in September throughout the last 120, 130 years. So you can see Hurricane Rita's there, Hurricane Ike, Hurricane Carla, which was a Category 4, 145 mile an hour winds. The Galveston hurricane of 1900, which is referred to as the worst natural disaster in U.S. history. Fatalities exceeded 6,000. Winds were devastating, over 145 miles an hour in southeast Texas back in 1900. So that's just a look at what's, I guess what's possible, in September. It just shows, more importantly, that September is the busiest time for tropical storms, hurricanes. Thankfully, we do not have anything that we're watching currently out there, but we have to keep our eyes open because late September, early October, we can still see storms and hurricanes enter the Gulf and the Atlantic and the Caribbean, and that can definitely impact our local weather. So nothing of immediate impact, just wanted to show you some history right there on that past map. Okay, outside right now, it's a partly cloudy sky. We're looking at temperatures right now in the upper 70s, lower 80s. Feels pretty nice outside. We have an ozone action day today, so we have a weather impact alert. For increased ozone, poor air quality, so if you suffer from any respiratory condition, like asthma or COPD, just limit time outdoors today because between now and about 7 p.m. there will be increased amounts of ozone in the air, which may make it harder to breathe. So be very careful out there. Limit time outdoors. Matter of fact, here's live conditions across South Central and South Texas. Houston and San Antonio in the unhealthy category. We don't see this very often, so this is showing live conditions right now. Excuse me. So Austin's in that unhealthy for sensitive groups category, but anywhere from Austin, San Marcos, San Antonio, even out towards Houston, in a pretty bad shape right now. So we're seeing more ozone build in. Wind speeds are very light. The air is stagnant, so a lot of bad air quality is cooking up along the I-10 and I-35 corridor. So again, please limit time outdoors if you suffer from any respiratory condition. Right now, 82 at the airport, 77 at Bernie. and 78 at Bandera. Gloria, you said Fernando hurricane. Let me take a look. Was Fernando in August? Because that last graphic we're referring to were specifically September hurricanes. So just to reiterate, Harvey is not on this particular map because Harvey made landfall in Texas in August of 2017. These are looking at September hurricanes. We have Hurricane Fern back in 1971, Carla in 1961. Prior to 1963, storms and hurricanes were not giving any names. They were either given a location or a number, but there wasn't a formal naming system implemented until like the mid-1950s. So that's why Galveston, for example, back in 1900, it was called the Galveston Hurricane of 1900. Balua made landfall back in 1967 in September at 120-mile-an-hour winds, a Category 3, and Rita was back in 2005, 115 miles an hour. Hey there, Jacob. Good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Thursday. How you doing this morning, Jacob? Overall, mostly clear conditions. Let's take a look at temperatures right now across the region. We had like 82 in San Antonio. I have 81 at Del Rio, 84 at Carrizo Springs, 87 at George West. We still have 70s in the Hill Country from Bernie to Kerrville to Fredericksburg at 77, 73 over at Rock Springs. Feels pretty good out there this morning. All right, so radar and satellite, not too much action out there. We zoom out, there are a couple of maybe sea breeze showers entering Galveston, southeast Texas, but aside from that, rain coverage today will be few and far between and mostly confined to the Texas Gulf Coast. Today's forecast, high temperature of 94 to 95. That's a few ticks above average, mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Next several days into the weekend, if you have any outdoor plans, everything should be fine. Don't cancel any outdoor plans. The heat will be on though. We'll see daytime highs probably, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right around 95, 96 degrees. The mornings will feel great, but the afternoons will be a little hot, so just expect that. As we progress into next week, this ridge kind of moves away from us. That may open the door by next Wednesday, next Thursday for some additional rain chances. Here is the rainfall potential over the next 7 to 8 days. As you can see, it's looking bleak. Not much for San Antonio. We may see a couple of spotty showers by next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But most of any significant chance for showers and storms will probably originate anywhere from Corpus Christi to the Valley to Eagle Pass. Pretty much deep South Texas is what we're looking at for any potential for heavier downpours and more scattered storms in the forecast. From Jacob, when is the last day of summer? It is September 21st, so in about a week and a half. That is the last full day of summer. The first day of fall is September 22nd. So it's around the corner, Jacob. It is around the corner. In the meantime, it's still going to feel like summer. That's what September typically brings for South Texas. Middle 90s for the next 7 days, even in the next 10 days. Not much of a variety. By next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we will see the possibility at a couple of showers and storms, but otherwise very quiet in our forecast as we wrap up summer. And we have that weather impact alert for today for the increased ozone. Air quality will suffer for today because of all the calming winds at the surface. That'll help, cook up bad ozone at the surface. So again, asthma sufferers, respiratory illness, COPD, emphysema, if you suffer from any of that, limit time outdoors today because the air quality, we just checked it about 5 minutes ago, and it's unhealthy right now in San Antonio. It's unhealthy in Austin and also in Houston. So please limit time outdoors if you do suffer from asthma or any respiratory condition. Otherwise, mostly clear, partly cloudy, middle 90s through the weekend and into next week as well.